Hi, homosexuals. Oh, we're coming back. We are coming back in a very, very good way. There are going to be so many days where you're sitting there doing your absolute best, trying to just do whatever your body can muster. And a lot of the times you are going to get, like more so bare minimum type of exercises where you feel like you could have put in more, but you didn't put in less than what you wanted. So you're just kind of like, I guess I did good enough. You got to make sure you still give yourself credit for those days. But those can stack up for sure. And especially when you're recovering an injury of any sort, it is going to take down the mental some days, especially in giving yourself feelings of phantom pain, lack of confidence, lack of mind-muscle connection. It's just those small little factors that build up so heavily on your abilities to lift. And let me tell you, I definitely let it take me today. Just the whole idea I have for right now, because I have today, tomorrow, and the next day to lift, and then I'm leaving town for a week. So I have to put in my best while I've got it. And the unfortunate part about that is I have to go, and again, comfortably, but I have to go heavy while I have time, because I'm going to be recovering for a week anyway. So there's no point in really going light unless there's pain in my knee, which is what I've been recovering. So the idea was today's heavy snatch with some recovery, tomorrow's heavy clean and jerk with some recovery, and then heavy bench press on the third day just to make sure I get that bit of effort in. And then I'm going to put in back squat, but if it doesn't feel good, it's just going to be recovery back squat. But there's certain things that are starting to add up that you aren't going to see until you actually put in the time and the effort of consistency to see it through all the way to the end. I came in not confident. I was already kind of livid, just being honest, because spent a good hour and a half looking for my earbuds. That's always a beautiful, beautiful feeling. It really reminds you how human we are when you just have a whole canister of rage that you can administer at any time in the day, just from the tiniest thing that doesn't really matter, shouldn't get you that upset. But you got Christmas coming up and your knee already has phantom pain and you're not confident in lifting heavy today, and so you just kind of you flip a mattress or two and you just kind of get that out, and then you eventually find your earbuds, sure, but you've spent the past hour and a half, 2 hours doing essentially bullshit, and now you have to go do the shopping and then go work out and then get yourself in the mindset to whip it as hard as you can with a vengeance. And that we did. You just got to go through those motions in order to really, really give yourself that chance to learn and that chance to grow through your worst days. I say it all the time. I tell people this a lot. You're going to have all those bare minimum kinds of days where you just think you did just good. You did what you wanted. You did what you expected. And then there's going to be the very few days where you either crush those expectations or you let them crush you. And I was being crushed today. Just walking in, I was pissed. Phantom knee pain, kicking my ass. And it's so funny because you got to really take it one step at a time, because I always give it a chance. I'm like, okay, well, I got to do my full body warm up anyway, so we'll start there. If I feel an inkling of pain, we'll stop. Did my full body stretch, nothing hurt. All right, let's put on 25s. Let's put on 45s. Just going from there. You have to take each step one step at a time in order to actually give it that chance. Because if you just go through it fully making yourself believe that it's a failure of a workout, if you don't hit that heavy weight that you really want to, even though you don't need to, it's going to take away from the efforts that you could be putting in on all the warm-ups beforehand. I say it all the time, every warm-up set should be like a PR set. Obviously, you're not going to be as hype, but you need to treat it as the same kind of intensity, the same speed, the same lockout, the same strength and power you need to just dive under the bar with 100% certainty that you have it 100% locked in, And that went great. I got 245, flew. And I got to tell you, I landed kind of weird on the 225, and it definitely, when you land weird on a snatch, because typically your feet position is going to be a little bit wider on the catch of a snatch than compared to a normal back squat. That's just where I naturally land. So that little awkward of a landing did strain my ass a little bit, more specifically my gluteus maximus. But it's funnier when you put the ass behind it, But that little bit of, oh man, now it feels a little weird, but whatever. And so I still whipped 245 extremely well, which is amazing because that was a weight that I was not super struggling at, but was intensely difficult, you know, because I hit a triple there a couple weeks ago, and I had to really put my heart and soul behind it. It was balls to the walls every single rep, you know, and to see that progress today was great. Now, before you get excited, like I did, no, I did not hit 265. Very unfortunate. I have been prepped to hit 275 like 4 separate times, and I keep having these minor injuries come up, beating the dead horse, and just having to fully recover, rebuild it back up, and then, you know, you just kind of got to eat shit for a little while you're getting yourself together to peak back to it. And again, I'm off program. I'm not even on the normal program, even if with my strength down. And so it's been a whole back and forth of got to give myself the little bit of heavyweight so that I can have that full maximum intensity before I take so much time off, so it's easier to get back on when I get back. But also accepting that I'm pretty limited right now in what I can throw over my head. But, however, what really surprised me was on the last program where I was going too heavy, and it was the one that strained my knee a little bit. Before the knee strain, I attempted a 265 double and couldn't even get under it. And I got under the bar twice today. 2 whole time. The first 2 attempts, I did drop forward, which is a strength issue, which I kind of expected. But the first one, I nearly got all the way underneath it. I just didn't fully commit or pull hard enough. And unfortunately, that was the only rep I had the full strength to actually complete it for. Because by the time I got to the third rep, I really tried to whip it as hard as I could. I kind of just, you turn that brain off and you just really, you come after it, squeezing out every last morsel of energy. But, you know, a couple attempts at a heavyweight, you're not going to have anything left, especially in your core. I did get all the way under, and I did have about a fraction of a millisecond where my elbows locked out, but was winking, low back was not tight, the bar was in front of me, my chest was dropping, shoulders were in front of my face. It was everything that, if it was just a slightly more behind my head, pulled slightly harder, would have been there, but not today. However, gonna give myself incredible effort and credibility for the efforts I put in today, because shit, that's some heavy weight. And to be able to do that, have zero knee pain after all the shit I've been going through trying to get it recovered, and then bounce back doing the best attempts at 265 I've had off program, means that when I get back on the one that I wrote out when my knee initially got hurt, that I'm going to be sitting on for a while until I can finally get back on it, hopefully right when I get back from my trip. Oh, the peak is going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. And hopefully 275 is in the tank. That would be amazing, to say the least. Otherwise, just focused on, I really don't want to do anything too strenuous for the sake of recovering my left knee. So just did some recovery accessories. I honestly was not super confident, but I wanted to just do the ones with, because you need to put just about no weight on the bar, you know, maybe just a little bit to give yourself that slight challenge. But if you're doing slow tempo and just feeling out the motions of the form and holding it as best you can anyway, there's no point in adding weight. Just go slower, you know, or really focus the weight on one side of your body more than the other, that kind of thing. I first did a few sets with a narrow stance with my heels elevated on slow tempo back squat. That definitely gave me the wobblies, and I want to make sure that I maintain doing some form of squats to make it transition a bit easier when I get back onto the normal weight. So if I just do a bunch of single leg, it's not going to really transition as well as it could when it comes to having to use both legs equally, you know? But it was good. Really good holds. I could definitely feel it, and there was no pain. It was just weak, which is great. If you can drive through a really hard technique-based lift after being injured, even if you feel weak as shit, if there is no pain, pat yourself on the back, because that is huge signs of recovery. Same thing on the single leg squats today. I love putting up 245-pound plates and then just like try, because then you just tap your heel on the floor and stand from there, because you just give yourself just enough of a depth to where you can fully drive it back up, and you basically get to choose the depth as you get better and better at it, you know? And so it started a little slow, but by the time I got to the last set, I was able to fully drive through it, no pain. It was burning a lot, I'll tell you that, and that shows me even more how much of an imbalance is there. But man, we were getting there. We were getting there. It felt really good to be able to drive off my left knee again with zero pain, and I mean zero. You'll see it at the end. I almost fell off my ass on the last one when doing my right leg, but I wasn't really as locked in, and I'm still gonna take it. It feels great to be able to do that, which means, although the sled pulls were what initially caused a slight tweakage at the end of my quad after straining my knee from the heavy clean and jerks, we can now reintroduce that tomorrow and try to get that deeper stretch and that little bit, add on that little bit more weight to increase my confidence in that knee. And hopefully the progression goes from there, you know? I'm not going to put any expectations on the clean and jerk tomorrow, just whatever feels good for a comfortable heavy single. And then same thing for bench the day after. And then if squat feels good, I'll just focus on doing some good volume set-wise when it comes to slightly difficult weight so that I don't rush back into it. Physically, I will give it an 8.2. 8.2. It was a good day, don't get me wrong, but it took some working into it. You really gotta sometimes hit a slightly difficult weight that you are less confident in order to relight that fire, you know, to get you going again. Especially when it came to those single leg squats, that really gave me some good bodes of confidence that I didn't realize I really needed that to have a better hope for my knee. Again, you got to really remind yourself, it's normally not that long that you have to wait. It's just when you care so much about something and you're so passionate about the way you do it, it feels like time is slowing down so much. It feels like it's taking years to recover. In reality, my knee had zero pain for months, and the last time I lifted like that with zero pain on that heavy clean and jerk day was a couple weeks ago. That's nothing. That is nothing. And the week after that, I spent taking time off, so I didn't even lift for one of the weeks. So it's barely been a week or two of training. We got time. And the time that I take on my trip is going to make it even better. I'll do some body weight stretches the whole time I'm gone, so hopefully when I get back, I can just jump right into it. Mentally, 8.45. Still very solid. And again, those little jumps of confidence that really, it reignites that want for vengeance behind the efforts you've been putting in. You know, it'll feel like nothing's working. It'll feel like nothing is progressing. It'll feel like you haven't done anything worthwhile, but you have to give it a chance. Bare minimum, there must be a certain amount of time allotted to the efforts you're trying to put in, you know? Because I had no idea what this recovery was going to do. I didn't know how well I was going to recover along the way or what would have happened in the long run. And it's coming. It's coming quick, and it's coming... It's coming for the sake of my mentality. It really, it's something that it sucks and it's hard to wait, but you have to. That holding yourself back, that limiting yourself is what gets you to the point where you could fully come back at 100% no matter what the moment you have it back. And it makes you 10 times as safe yet efficient and passionate at the same time, you know? It's always going to be scary. It's always going to be a risky thing that you're doing, but progress is being made. And now that I have all this experience from the past 10 months, knowing exactly what my body feels like in certain scenarios, I can learn from that and rewrite my program to really show light on what I've learned. And then we'll see what goes from there. Anyway, I appreciate you guys hearing me yap. I cannot stop myself sometimes, but let me know how the lives and lifts have been going. Love hearing about it. And I'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, heavy clean and jerk with some more accessories for the leg. It'll probably just be definitely more single leg stuff. That's been feeling really good. And then the sled pulls, because I want to get back confident in that, since I had the best, that most efficient recovery rate out of everything that I did previously. So, I love you guys. And I'll see you tomorrow. See ya. Bye.